Thank you all for attending. This is great to see such a big crowd. We have a lot of issues to discuss tonight about the direction of the City Colleges of Chicago. I know many of you are here to speak out about those issues, and we all are very excited to hear what you have to say, hear your concerns, hear your solutions, just hear what's going on.
As Caitlin said, my name is Tony Johnston. I'm the president of Cook County College Teachers Union. We represent full-time faculty, we represent full-time professionals, part-time professionals, and security in the city colleges. But more importantly, I'm here as part of the Alliance of City College Unions here. And this is important because we are here because we are fighting against reinvention. Essentially, reinvention takes an assembly line or factory model approach to the complexities of teaching and the learning process. The City College Administration has implemented policies that limit the very access to college. And this is something that we are trying to, obviously, as an open enrollment community college, we want to make access as open as possible. And unfortunately, the policies that have been put in place are just doing the opposite. People here in the city colleges will have heard the terms data-driven analysis and accountability. Why are you snickering? Because you've heard it a lot, haven't you? But all of the above points to an administration that is not accountable to the communities it is supposed to serve. For that reason, with the help of Rob Markwick here, we have introduced legislation that would make the City College Board an elected board.
My best estimate is that we represent 70% of the credit courses taught at Chicago City Colleges. Which means that we touch 7 out of 10 students. At graduation, most of the names called are students that we've taught. And unfortunately, those students don't really get the privilege of seeing us there shaking their hands all the time because we're out probably doing our summer job, babysitting, washing cars, working at the mall, welcome to Walmart, may I help you? That's our reality. But that's not the reality that troubles me most. The reality that troubles me most is that our working conditions are our students' learning conditions. We would love to be able to work at one of the wonderful 7 campuses, just one. We would even be glad to just get 4 courses at that one institution, where we could maybe put in, what would that be, 4 hours of office hours that we can put in there? That means that our students would have a great chance of working with me if they need some assistance, as opposed to a tutorer who doesn't know what I'm trying to teach, how I'm trying to teach it, or why I'm trying to teach it. That's what troubles me most.
What's happening now is that members in our union, the positions that has been vacated over the last year, is now considered non-budgeted positions. There are over 70 to 80 positions that are not being refilled. The workload is being passed up, convoluted, moved between 1708, 1600, SEIU. Clock is even out there punching the computer sometime. So it's blending in all the unions. You go into a job, you go into a position thinking your duties is one thing. You stay there under these business leaders, and then all of a sudden your position transforms into something else. You started here to service your students. You're told you got to run there from 3 to 4 and do something else. I think now our jobs have revolved into we can't tell what we're supposed to do and when we're supposed to do it. So students are being affected terribly in some of our academic departments where staff is not available, where usually they're there. When a student walked into an office, the first person that they saw was 1708. A student had a need, the 1708 person was the first one to direct a solution. What's happening now is that this current administration has an idea of that the importance of our jobs is something that can transform into a McDonald's worker. I'm not, blasting McDonald's, but we're told that if a person can flip a hot dog or a hamburger, they can do your job. And we're being told that by people that's supposed to be making over $100,000 a year. They have no vision. They don't know anything about us except I don't even know if some of them making 150 have a college education. And we have been watching the growth in this administration, documenting the growth in this administration since 2010, since the first surge of the crazies came into city colleges. And all the years that I've been impacted or worked with city colleges, seen this type of treatment evolve. It's like sewage coming up from the ground, and it takes over the whole stadium. I'll keep it clean as I can, y'all. So, we're on our way to start negotiations this year, and it's probably the worst year in the world to start negotiations, and we're starting negotiations from a handicap position. Yes, I got over 100 positions that's not being filled, workers running over to other people. All of us are trying to get into this, straighten it out, but where they think normally would be a fight with the union, it has turned into a conversations between unions. We support each other, we understand each other. What we need to know is that you all will support us while we're trying to build this coalition of unions across city colleges, while we're trying to tell the business people that we have become mad as hell and we're not taking this shit no more. I gotta stop. My tongue getting too hot. I gotta stop.
So if anyone who likes to talk, please form a line along this wall. We are going to keep you limited to 2 minutes so that as many people as possible can speak.
My name is Jennifer Asimow. I am a child development faculty member from Harold Washington College. I started 15 years ago. Not only were our child development programs are vibrant. It's not like whatever data we're getting from the district office, I have not yet seen accurate data come from this district office, not one time in the past 5 years. No accurate data coming out of that office at all. They spin data however whatever can forward their own narrative, they spin the data. But when I started at Harold Washington, we taught child development classes out in the community. I started teaching child development at the Carol Robertson Center for Learning and at Christopher House. And I went around the city because we really believed in this idea that people needed not only education, good, solid, community-based education, but they needed wraparound services that supported their families while they were taking classes. So I'd go over to Carol Robertson, and there would be play groups for their children where there was childcare for them. Dinner would be served. Nobody had to run home and run back. It was all designed thanks to, our very famous and wonderful Sammy Dorch, who's hiding in the back. But just to give you a follow-up, last year I was approached by a different community organization, the Humboldt Park community organization, who wanted to do a child development degree at their center. We went through every part to get that done, including sign-offs from all of the presidents. We paid HLC whatever money it is required to have off campus. It got to the chancellor's desk. The chancellor said, no, these people need to travel to college. We cannot bring college to them. We were told by a dean at Truman College this year, not 2 months ago, that the chancellor believes two things, the two most important things in reinvention. One, pathways. Okay, maybe students should have a clear idea what they're doing. Okay, I'll go there. The second one, the second thing that she holds closest to her heart, students should travel for education. This was the quote. I have 3 people that were in the meeting. That students should travel and they should have clear pathways. So that gives you an idea of what we're kind of dealing with.
Good evening. My name is Beth Brown. I have been an adjunct at Truman and Wright College for 12 years with 1 year off for a full-time job when someone was on sabbatical. You've probably heard that we've been without a contract for 4 years. Why is that? It's because they haven't offered us anything. In fact, what they wanted to do in the initial offer is to take all of us who've been working for more than 3 years and bring us back down to the base salary. Oh yes, oh yes. And that could be as much of a third of our current salary. So that's an example. Reinvention has spent money on almost every conceivable thing except the single thing that matters the most, and that is the teachers. Yes. All right? We've got a multi-$100,000 new building that has no faculty offices. That shows you their disdain for the faculty, all right? New furniture in all the campuses, new painting, you know, better food, which is fine, but I mean, it's literally as though they think, what can we spend money on now except education? That's almost, it's almost like the bubble that you see coming out of their heads.
My name is Hontus Farmer, and I'm an adjunct faculty member at Malcolm X College. Malcolm X College is a concrete example of what reinvention is supposed to mean. If you could see where the full-time faculty and part-time faculty have cubicles, just cubicles, it will remind you of something out of The Office or maybe the movie Office Space. All under the watchful eye of deans who are forced to implement policy that they know makes absolutely no sense. Even these administrators are forced to work like some sort of colonial functionaries, enforcing the proclamations of a distant and tyrannical government. That's what this is. My colleague who mentioned democracy and faculty governance, this is a struggle for our freedom, our academic freedom.
Good evening all, my name is Randall Miller. I am also an adjunct faculty member at City Colleges. To give you a little bit more information on what's going on in consolidation, Truman is receiving all of the education and childhood development courses. Wright is receiving all of the computer science courses. Harold Washington is receiving all the business courses. Kennedy King is receiving the culinary department. Daly is receiving the advanced manufacturing department. And Olive Harvey is transportation sciences. So as was mentioned, transportation and truck driving. So on the south side, you've got truck driving, you've got culinary arts, and you've got advanced manufacturing. On the north sides and west sides, you've got addiction studies. You've got business, you've got education, and you've got computer sciences. It is a very clear distinction between what possibilities students have and what the expectations for those students are.
My name is Claire, and I teach at Wright College. I have a few other roles there as well, but I want to say that I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm insulted, not just by the pay, but on a larger scale, because they seem to think that we won't fight back for any of their laws or decisions, right? I mean, it's hard to call them laws, but when they make these sweeping decisions and they don't expect us to say anything about it, that suggests that we don't have independent thinking abilities, and we can't think critically. We don't ask questions. And in that case, that leads me to wonder, what do they think we're doing in the classroom? Do they think that I just stand up and read from a textbook and I don't encourage the students to ever question the systems in place? Do they think that I'm there to raise a bunch of sheep to follow whoever, to follow the wolf wearing some fleece? Apparently that's what they think. And in that case, then they've never taught a class before, but I think that...
Hi, my name is Beth Harris. I am an adjunct faculty in the communications department at Truman. I make about $700 per credit, which is about $2,100 per class. If I were to teach 10 classes a year, which is the full-time faculty load, I would make $21,000 as a full-time faculty member. That is less than half of what a full-time faculty member makes. It's exploitation. And I teach, as we teach, as Loretta said, we teach almost 70% of the students. We have great faculty, full-time, part-time, doesn't matter. We have the same credentials, we're teaching the same classes. If the district wants to support the students, it has to support the faculty. We need an elected school board, we need a fair contract for the adjuncts, we need to all work together. I'm all in favor of us walking out, because this has got to change.